Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Depending on where you are in this world, God bless you. This is Gloria White coming to you from Utah, USA. Today we're going to be in the book of Ezekiel, and we are in chapter 38. Now we know that the Bible is full of prophecies in the Old Testament, and this is one of them. This chapter is so telling of the end times. And we could take this back to Revelation and verify according to the word of the Lord given unto John the Apostle. But let us read. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech, and that is the prince of Rosh, and Tubal. And I will turn thee back, and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them, clothed with all sorts of armor, or splendidly clothed, even a great company with bucklers, or that's large shields, and shields, all of them handling swords, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. And thou prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, or on the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, or long been waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands or troops, and many people with thee. Thus saith the Lord God, it shall also come to pass, that at the same time, or on that day, shall things come into my mind, or come into thy mind, and or thoughts will arise in your mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, or devise an evil plan. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely or securely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. Sheba and Dedan, and merchants of Tarshish, with all the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, Art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? Therefore, Son of man, prophesy and say unto Gog, Thus saith the Lord God, In that day when my people of Israel dwelleth safely, shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company, and a mighty army. And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel, as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days. And I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen or the nations may know me, when I shall be sanctified or hallowed in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. Thus saith the Lord God, Art thou he of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee against them? So many years ago. And it shall come to pass at the same time, when Gog shall come against the land of Israel, saith the Lord God, that my fury shall come up in my face, or show in his face. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel, a large earthquake, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the field, and all creeping things that creep upon the earth, and all the men that are upon the face of the earth, shall shake at my presence. And the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith the Lord God. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. And I will plead against him with pestilence, with bloodshed. And I will rain upon him, and upon his troops, and upon the many people, or the peoples, that are with him, an overflowing or a flooding rain, and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. Thus will I magnify myself, and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am the Lord. And we could read these same things in the book of Revelation. We could also read in Zechariah, in Isaiah. We could read in Psalms and Revelations, Hosea. These things have long been foretold. And it's just, the Bible is like this beautiful tapestry, and it's all woven together, and every piece fits in together with another, and making this beautiful story that God is telling us of the end times, and how he will save his people. That would be us. And Israel. Don't you know we are Israel? We've been grafted into the vine. And as always, I love you. Remember, Israel, he had 12 sons. Wonder where they all went.